The season finale, unfortunately, of Arrow just happened. It was episode 23 of season 2 entitled Unthinkable. Before I get into the actual details of what happened here, I gotta say that this episode, this season finale, was pretty fucking awesome. I loved it. Now, it starts with, we see the cure works on Roy. So now Oliver thinks, okay, there is a chance that I can save, well, maybe use the cure to stop Slade. Just then, Slade's army starts coming through the supposed watchtower, I guess. And as they're coming in, they're fighting their way out. And then we see Diggle's ex-wife show up. She saves the day. That was interesting. I certainly wasn't expecting to see her. Then we see that Thea indeed shot Malcolm Merlyn. I was shocked by that. I figured that we would see that maybe she shot somebody behind him, or maybe she missed him. I mean, I know that sounds dumb, but I was surprised that, no, she shot him twice. Now, I guess I shouldn't have been surprised that he was wearing a bulletproof vest, but I loved how he took this as a good thing, as a reason to think that Thea is strong and somebody that he is proud to call his daughter, because, I forgot about this, but in season 1, when Tommy had a gun pointed at him, Tommy didn't shoot him, and he saw that as being weak. Wow, she's, of course, freaked out, like, okay, this is fucking weird, and she's making her way away from him. Then we cut to Lance, who is now back to being a detective. He gives a great speech to the cops about standing up, fighting for the city. I loved it. I love seeing Lance back in an authoritative figure as a leader. And we see that Sara, when she left a couple episodes ago, when she said I was going to go visit a friend, I figured this, but it's confirmed that she went to go see Nessa from the League of Assassins. And she is asking them for help in this war to help her and Oliver against Slade and his army. And I gotta say, I never thought I'd see the League of Assassins helping Oliver, but that's exactly what they do. Now, I enjoyed the moment where Oliver gives Roy a mask, a red mask, because not only did it solidify Roy as a member of the team, but it's like he got his mask. He's officially a superhero now. I don't know, it was just a very, very cool moment. Then later on we see Roy meet up with Thea because he calls her and she trusts him. So she leaves Malcolm to meet Roy. And he says he's done with teaming with the Arrow, with being involved with this, and that he loves her more than anything, and that he's just going to be with her. But he had to go and do one last thing, which is help them in this war. Now, I'm pretty sure he was being honest about this. I'm pretty sure he really did mean he was done with this, that he was just going to do this one last thing that I like. I like that even though he was serious about being done with it, that he was going to help Oliver. He wasn't just going to leave him hanging in this battle. Thea, when she's packing all of her stuff, getting ready to leave, she finds a bunch of arrows under Roy's bed, and she thinks, great, even Roy is lying to me as well. Oliver, this scene, like, really shocked me. Oliver stops Felicity because Laura was taken by Slade, and Oliver tells Felicity that he knows Slade wants to kill the woman that he loves, but actually he took the wrong woman because the woman he loves is Felicity. I was floored by this. I was like, what? I mean, I always bought the fact that these two had feelings for each other, that maybe one day or future season these two could end up dating. I wouldn't be upset or surprised by that, but I just thought this came out of nowhere. And I thought, wow, okay. Diggle then goes with his ex-wife, and they go to break out the Suicide Squad. It was cool to see Deadshot, even though I was waiting for Harley Quinn to show up I mean, why not? Wasn't she in the cell there? Now we see the war, where it's Oliver, the League of Assassins, Black Canary, Roy. They're all fighting Slade and his army, and they were just fighting in the streets. It was pretty epic. You even had Lance there. We find out Slade has captured Felicity because he overheard Oliver say that to her. So now he has both of them, Felicity and Laurel. Before we get to that, though, we see Diggle. When he goes with Deadshot and his ex-wife, they go to Amanda Waller and they're trying to get her to stop the drones, the missiles that's going to go to Starling City. Amanda Waller tells Diggle he's going to be a father, that his ex-wife is pregnant. Whoa! Bombshell much? Yeah. Now, I was nervous because I thought Slade was going to kill Felicity. I really did. What came next, I loved, because it was a swerve I didn't see coming. The fact that Oliver had caught, we see a flashback that he realized that there were hidden cameras in the mansion. And I like this because there were so many hidden cameras in the mansion that I liked Oliver was smart to realize that there was cameras there. And so he made a mental note and said, alright, I'm going to trick Slade. I'm going to make him hear me tell Felicity that I love her. Give her the antidote, the cure, so that when he kidnaps her, what'd she do? She gets up and stabs Slade in the neck with the cure. Bam! So now the Mirakuru was out of Slade. I thought that plan was genius. I should probably mention some of the island flashbacks because not only did we see when Sara ended up looking like she died, so that's the moment where Oliver thinks Sara died, but we got a pretty awesome fight between Oliver and Slade on the island, and I love the way how it was interconnected with the fight that they were having in present day. I loved it. I thought that was cut together well. Then, at the last second, Oliver has Slade wrapped up. We don't know what he's going to do with him, but he calls Amanda Waller and tells her, look, call off the drones. I have Slade and his army captured, stopped, and I didn't know what she was going to do, but she calls them off. Thank God. Then we get a Flash trailer. And I thought this was pretty cool because granted we didn't see much or anything of the actual Flash TV show, but I love how they promoted it with Arrow, where you see Green Arrow, he has his bow and arrow, he goes to shoot it, and then we see just this flash of red come in, he catches the arrow, and it's the Flash. And he looks great. The suit looks great. I love how the little interaction between Arrow and Flash, how sort of joking around. I mean, I thought it was played up well. I thought it looked really good, just the way the desert area that they were in looked. I'm very much looking forward to this Flash TV show. We come back and we see that Sara is leaving with the League of Assassins, and I get that she had to do this to get them to help, but I don't really care for Laurel and the father sort of letting her go. I mean, I know that they know that that's the arrangement, but it's like, would they really be so open to just being like, okay, have fun, hopefully we get the call and email? I don't know. I thought that was weird, but before I started to get pissed that Sara was leaving, Lance just collapses. He's spitting up blood, and I'm thinking to myself, oh God, do not kill Lance off, please. Laurel sees that there's this bruise or something on his stomach that just looks... I guess it happened when one of the soldiers threw Lance against a table, but I'm not really sure, like, what was happening to him. Then we see Thea leaves the city with Malcolm Merlyn, and she vows to never come back. Wow. Oliver lets Slade live. And I found that interesting that he left him in that prison, Argus, back on the island, and he did it to keep him away from anyone, from hurting anyone. But I love that they didn't kill Slade. I like that there's a possibility, I'm not even saying next season, but there's a possibility that he could come back in the future. And that's great. It's totally something I wasn't sure if they would do, especially because of how he killed Oliver's mother. He went so hardcore that I wouldn't have been surprised if they killed him. But I guess the flashback of Oliver sticking the arrow in his eye was almost satisfying enough for that. Now, right before they leave the island, Felicity almost questions Oliver, almost to like double check and make sure, because she says, I know that was the plan, but you really sold it when you told me that you loved me, and like it almost seemed like you meant it. And she's almost letting that linger, and she's like waiting for Oliver to respond. And I love the way Stephen DeMille plays this, where he's just like, we both did well with that. It's like he doesn't deny the fact that he might have feelings for her, but he's not going to indulge her in that either. He's not going to give her false hope. He's not going to lead her on. And she asked him how did he learn to fly a plane if he's been on the island. Cut to the last flashback, where apparently Oliver wasn't actually on this island for 5 years straight. We see him in Hong Kong, and that's where he meets Amanda Waller. Wow, what a cliffhanger. I mean, there's so much stuff in this episode that has been sort of cliffhangered for season 3, but that especially just kind of changes everything. Oliver wasn't on this island for 5 years straight. I mean, there is a period of time when he's in Hong Kong, and I wonder where that's going to go. I wonder how that plays in. I mean, it's a little weird to have him off the island in the flashbacks, but it's surprising. It's different. It's interesting. I really enjoyed the season finale. I loved everything about it. I cannot wait for season 3. That's just, this show is fucking awesome. Let me know in the comments below if you too saw the season finale. What did you think of it? Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Later!